as you might know by now, I added an extra day off here. I just needed to give my body a chance to recover so that I wasn't thinking about, my aches and pains every time I put the paddle in the water. And I've had a fantastic delivery of creams and potions which I've been using. The ointment, horse ointment, horse liniment, has been on my shoulder all the way down here where I've been experiencing pain. This has received a good dose of it, which is feeling pretty good. My wrist is healing, but it's not quite there yet. But my lip, I don't know, I just can't do anything with my lip. Yes, still got to contend with the idiots in the boats. Thank you.
Safe travel.
Landed for once on a great campsite. So it's great because I didn't have to carry all my kit up a huge bank. There are the flies, of course. There are fewer than usual ants. It's a beach, sand, and it's relatively quiet. It's on the New South Wales side. Give you a bit of a look. There are bins. I wasn't sure because usually all of New South Wales is privately owned, so you can't land on it. But as I came past, there was a sign, and it was facing inwards rather than facing outwards, saying, you know, bugger off. It was facing inwards, and when I got out, it said, it's the RFS, is your camp, are you sure your campfire is out? Which kind of hints to me that it is a public site, and there's lots of tracks and trails, and the big giveaway is the garbage. Yep, unfortunately. But I do have a guest this evening, and it's a goanna, which is a big lace monitor. I've got some footage of it, and she can smell me. I think it's a she. She looks as though she's pregnant. She can smell me, but their eyesight is pretty poor, I think. She can't. So she's sort of tasting with her tongue, or smelling with her tongue. And she's headed off into the reeds, which is why I don't like landing on reeds either, because goannas are not the only thing that inhabit reeds. Tiger snakes like to inhabit reeds as well. I just keep an eye out for the goanna. I'll filter some water soon. I've got a full, well, this morning I had a full 6 litres leaving the campsite, and a container of water, and but the water here is really clear. It's almost as though you can drink it straight out the river, which is probably not advisable. The ducks are having a fantastic time. It's like being at home with Daffy and Quackers when their pond is changed. They flap about in it and dive and everything, and that's what's happening at the moment. Dinner is cooking. I wondered if that's what she could smell, which was what was bringing her to the campsite. But if she is pregnant, she might be looking for somewhere to just goanna. I assume as a big lizard she would lay eggs. I've got coffee, and it's only 5:15. I've done my required kilometres, 47. And just a tiny bit more. I was looking at the Victorian side, but there is no tree cover, and just out of the blue this one appeared, and I made a beeline for it, and it was a great decision.
Block 10, German speaking.
Good morning. I'm in a kayak travelling downriver. I'm just on the outskirts of Wentworth. It's possible to go down the loch today?
Yep. How far away from the loch are you?
Probably 30 to 45 minutes.
Okay, well we can do you at 11 o'clock.
Okay, no worries.
Okay, and you're going downstream?
Yes, please.
Yep, alright, we'll have it ready for you at 11 o'clock.
Thank you.
Thank you, bye.
Bye. everybody, it's Thursday the 3rd. I'm at Fort Courage Caravan Park in a basic cabin. Bit of an unexpected one. It just popped up on the map as I was travelling along. So I'm a bend away from Anna Branch Station, which is where I could have been camping. So I've got a bed. Requires a sleeping bag and a pillow. Linen isn't provided. I've had a shower and possibly quite the most challenging boat ramp I've landed on yet, which is covered in soil. So there is some concrete underneath it, but the top has soil on it, which of course is mud. Morning. It's Friday, 4th of March. It's 10:15. I've been on the go hour and 3/4. I'm heading through Lock 9 today. Got no phone signal, but I rang them first thing this morning when I did have a phone signal and told them to expect me around about 3 o'clock. Worst day ever. Worst day ever. I'm on an ant's nest. Nowhere to land. Nowhere to land on the Victorian side. I'm on the New South Wales side. It's public land, but it's just dire. There's no bank to land on, so it's traditional exit on the paddle. So the first one I tried, basically the kayak got away from me, so instead not wanting to capsize the boat, I jumped in the water. So I'm soaking wet, my clothes are soaking wet, trying to dry them out on the tree branch. Sun's going down, haven't had any food. Didn't land until 7. Put the tent up. The tent's on an ant's nest. So just trying to, the tent's up, and I'm just trying to keep the ants out of it, because that would just be the end of it. And I could say I'm hoping for better things tomorrow, but I'm well and truly over this trip. Well and truly over it. So, approaching Lock 7, hopefully. There's a beach at the bottom of it. Went through Lock 8 this morning. The worst night ever. The ants found a way into the tent, I think through the gap in the zip. I spent my whole night just killing ants. They're biting as well, so it's not like you can just let them crawl over you and you don't notice. That was a clear pit. a leftover sort of remnant on the bend in the river from the floods. There were ant nests absolutely everywhere. I cannot tell you how many millions of ants that there were. I had no choice. I went there first, looked at it, thought this is impossible. Crossed over the river in high winds, couldn't get on the bank, had to go back, chose a slightly different spot, slightly fewer ants, not. Nightmare. Honestly, if this is how the river runs normally, I don't know why anybody would want to do it. There's adventure and then there's just stupidity. In a houseboat, yes, I can see the attraction of a houseboat. In a kayak, there are better rivers. Much better rivers to play around on. Rivers where you can camp. Maybe at a different time of year, because other people have done it at different times of the year. Maybe in winter, when it's just mud-alley, maybe. Maybe in spring, when no doubt there's something else. Someone said that there were winds in spring. Well, there are heavy winds today, let me tell you. I've been battling a headwind all day, and not just any old wind. It creates not just chop, but waves. So no, I will hopefully be able to say in 2.5 weeks' time that I've paddled from the Hume Dam to Sugars Beach on Hindmarsh Island, but that's the adventure over with. I wouldn't do it again. Not for all the tea in China. No chance. Tonight I am, what is tonight? Saturday. Tonight I am at Loch 7. I was supposed to be at Loch 7 Beach. I went through Loch 8 this morning and there was absolutely nothing between Loch 8 and Loch 7 apart from the beach right at the top, right next to Loch 8. And when I got to Loch 7, I asked the lock keeper and said, I'm hoping that there's a beach at the bottom of this loch, and he said nope, it's still underwater. There's nothing flowing over Loch 7 Weir, nothing at all. So whether that's because they only run it for a certain amount of time during the day, I don't know. However, he said go up the Rufus River just a short way, and there's a sandbank on the right hand side, and what is basically a car park and car parking area. Camp there, and that's where I am. But anybody that comes in with a trailer that can steal it has to drive through this car park, because the lock is now closed, or arrive by boat. Either way, I'll hear them, but quite frankly, if someone wants to steal it, good luck to them. And it's a fantastic boat, I have to say, I really do, but at this point in time I couldn't care less what happens to it. Not after last night. So last night was a big demotivator. You know, having to paddle at this stage of the game. I did this at the start. Having to paddle at this stage of the game till 7 PM and then land on something which just resembles an ant heaven was just so demotivating. piggins cutting boat ramp. It's obviously a camping area. There's not much sign of traffic. I've dragged Captain Yoda up the boat ramp. It's very smooth from a lot of car wheels, so there's no stones or anything on it, so the bottom of the boat's fine. It's just very heavy, and I'm away from it. I don't know how far I'm away from it. I thought I would get in a dip out of the wind, but it hasn't quite worked out like that. But usually what happens is the wind dies down in the evening, although it didn't last night. It was howling through the night. But the little tent stood up to it, so that's good. I'm just pleased to get really somewhere to land. I really am sick of not being able to get onto the bank sides, and I've taken some advice about tomorrow night. And apparently below Lock 6 things are as normal at water levels, so I don't know. Anyway, so tomorrow is the last of the bush camps for this section, and then I've got 2 nights in a cabin at Renmark. Thank you.
See you later. Enjoy the rest of your trip.
Thank you.
When do you reckon you go through Renmark?
Tomorrow. March the 7th, and I've just come through Lock 6, and it's blowing a gale, of course it is, and I'm not quite at my predicted campsite because there isn't anywhere to land there according to the lockkeeper, but this is the one recommended to me by a friend. And as you can see, it's not quite the big sandy beach that it shows on the on Google and on the maps, but it's mud, but you know, that's life. But we were able to land, which is a bonus. And apart from the biting something or other, that's the camp set up. And I'm just filtering some water so that I can refill my water supplies, get a drink of electrolytes and make some food, check out where I am. I think I've got a signal, and then go to bed early because I was fooled by coming across the border and then working out why I'd lost half an hour. Well, because, or gained half an hour? Gained half an hour, yeah. So I was earlier than expected. Everything's paling, as you can see. Earlier than expected, which means that I probably will get up earlier tomorrow because I've got slightly longer to go. I've got 4 kilometers longer than expected because I stopped 4 kilometers earlier than expected. But tomorrow is Renmark. Yippee!